outside Planned Parenthood in Fairfield, one of the many places where you can get an abortion in the Solano County area. They have many pamphlets about contraception choices, what happens when you're pregnant, the abortion pill. Many options are here at Planned Parenthood in Fairfield.
Okay, so based on pregnancy, who do you believe should be entitled to the right?
Okay, who made the baby?
Okay.
The parents. Right.
And basically, what are your thoughts on abortion?
All right. That's they're killing babies. They're taking lives.
Plain and simple.
Right. I mean, Hitler had the Holocaust. Stalin did his thing. You had the situation in Myanmar. I mean, it's a life. You're killing.
So basically, regardless of what it's for, killing's killing, right?
Yes. I mean, just like we have what? The death penalty? Is that necessary?
I don't believe so.
All right. That's another death penalty.
Hi, so I was wondering, who do you think should have the parental rights during pregnancy?
Well, basically the woman, because she bears the burden in 9 months. She has to do it for 18 years. Man just impregnated, that's all he can do.
Okay, and what are your thoughts on the topic of abortion?
Well, I'm with it, but, you know, if somebody's not ready, they have the right to not have the baby. It's wrong in some people's eyes, but in my perspective, I think that a woman should be able to do what she wants. Her body. How can she have a baby if she can't support it? You know, she's not prepared to do it. She should be able to do what she wants.
Okay, thank you.
What are your decision on pro-choice or pro-life? Would you rather the baby live or ultimately die?
I would rather the baby live. You never know what could happen. For instance, kids parents that was about to get an abortion decided to have the baby, and some of those kids become famous, make it to the NBA, become president. You never know what could happen, so I would rather no abortion.
Okay, and also, do you believe in the parental rights? Do you think it should be up to the mom, or should it be up to both the parents?
I think it should be, well, honestly, I think it should be both the parents. That's kind of hard to say, but I think it should be both the parents because they both made the decision to lay down and, have sexual intercourse. So I think they both have a right to their opinion on if they want to have the baby or not. But that's how I feel about that situation.
Alright, so I was wondering, who do you think should have the paternal rights to a child during pregnancy?
The woman, of course, it's her body. She chooses whether or not she wants to give birth. And I think males, we have an opinion as to whether or not we want to raise a child, but ultimately it's the woman's choice.
Okay. And what are your opinions on abortion?
I'm pro-abortion. There's many factors at play with abortions. Say, for example, she gets raped or she ends up getting impregnated by somebody who's not fit enough to raise a child, or her living conditions if it's not in the right environment or anything like that. So it really depends, but I am pro-abortion. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Hi. So I wanted to ask you, during a pregnancy, who do you think should have the rights to the baby?
The baby.
The baby, not
The
the
baby.
parents?
No.
Okay.
I think once the baby's been made, that baby has rights to life.
Okay.
And I think that, if you ask any of us, I think that we all would appreciate having that right. I don't think any of us would have chosen to be aborted at the time that before we were born. And I really think people overlook the inherent right of a baby. It's the baby that has the right. Everybody talks about the woman's right because they're carrying the baby. And while I value that, I had 6 children of my own. I think that is a very special role to play. But I really think you know, just because I'm carrying the baby doesn't give me the right to end that baby's life.
And what is your view on the topic of abortion?
Oh, well, I think that it's a very sad choice if people make it. I think that I would hope that nobody would make that choice, but I think people have. I looked into it at one time before, I was ready to have children, and before I was, where I am, before I was right. Can you cut that? But I looked into the possibility of having an abortion at one time, and I am thankful to say that the person I talked to wasn't able to tell me definitively. I was a vegetarian. I was totally into, not hurting anything. They did not tell me that, yes, it's not a person. They said, we don't know, and that really helped me make up my mind not to, follow through with having an abortion, because I just didn't think that it was my right to take a life of somebody. While I think that there's life if somebody does have an abortion, that I know that there's, that people can recover. Well, I think eventually recover from that. I think there'll always be a pain that they end their life. And I think it's a sad choice to make, and I think there's always better alternatives. A lot of people want to adopt babies, and I think that would be a better solution. As hard as it may be to think of, I just think that a lot of people have trouble with having children, so they would probably welcome that child into their home. And I think it's a really hard decision for someone to make, and I would hope they'd make a different decision.
So what is your choice on abortion? Are you pro-choice or pro-life?
I am pro-choice. It's up to the person who's pregnant.
So with saying that, do you believe in the parental rights that only the woman can decide if she wants to have the kid, or do you think it should be up to the dad?
It takes two to tango, yeah, you carry it, but there's one woman on this earth, then, so it takes two to make one, so you both should come to a mutual agreement.
Okay, well, thank you.
I just want to know, what is your opinion on abortion?
I think every girl has the right to make that decision, and I don't think anybody should be able to tell her whether she can or cannot make the decision, because you don't know what the situation is that she's going through. I just think it should be her decision, not mine.
Okay, and who do you think should have paternal rights to the baby?
Paternal rights. I think actually both parents should have. Both parents should have the right to make the decision. However, it is the female that's carrying the child, so ultimately she's probably going to make the decision. But I do think that she should take into consideration of what the guy, his feelings on it.
Okay. Hi, I was wondering, who do you think should have paternal rights during a pregnancy between parents?
I feel both parents, in my opinion, have the rights to their child. Even the father, the mother is ultimately, I think, the decision maker. She's the one holding the baby for the next 9 months.
Okay, and what are your thoughts on abortion?
I'm definitely pro-choice. I feel like a woman has a right to choose if she decides to have a baby or not. There's different circumstances for abortion. There's rape. There's, different factors that come with an abortion. I feel like people shouldn't take advantage of it. And if a woman decides to carry term with her baby and then give up for adoption, that's her right also. So ultimately, I think a woman should have the right whether to have an abortion or not. I feel like they shouldn't take that right.
Hi, I was wondering if you could tell me, what are your opinions on abortion?
I don't believe in it. I believe that the baby should have a chance at life, and there's no reason for it.
And who do you think should have rights to the baby as it's inside the womb?
I would say the mother. It's her life, and if she should be able to choose how she wants to live it.